Sykkylven, a small community in Norway's fjord region, it is home to one of our world's greatest furniture success stories, the manufacture of the world-famous stressless recliner. The factory covers 60,000 square meters and represents a unique combination of high technology mixed with hands-on skills and expertise. This film will provide you with greater insight and make you even more confident when dealing with any customer inquiry. Welcome! We start in the lamination department. The laminates consist of 32 thin layers of European beech, which are glued together and shaped with the aid of moisture at high temperatures and under high pressure. The semi-fabricated laminated blanks are sent to the carpenters. These blanks are then cut into the semicircles used in the base. Production is highly automated. This robot optically reads all the blanks, so the machine is correctly set up when the blank is put into position. The semicircles are joined using glued comb joints, which result in large glued surfaces and terrific strength. Here you can see the holes where the ring and legs will be joined. 2 holes on each side, instead of 1, provide increased stability and strength. The legs undergo an even more automated process. The blanks are read and checked electronically before being drilled, ground and polished. The robots can work around the clock without supervision and are programmed to call the operator at home if a problem arises. Connecting the legs to the ring is largely a manual process. A combination of special adhesive and 6 nails result in an extremely durable joint. Only 3 sizes of bases are produced. The standardization of parts is important in the production. The bases are now stained, varnished, polished and varnished again in a continuous process. All the spraying is performed by robots. Running water removes any surplus stain and varnish dust. The water is purified and recycled. Finally, the base is fitted with a sliding ring and armrest supports. While doing this, the operator also inspects the finished job manually. If any defects are found, the base is rejected. The finished base now moves on to temporary storage and then on to assembly. The steel department produces the majority of the steel parts and components for stressless chairs. Here, the lower section of the backrest is being shaped. For ergonomic reasons, this is bent in 2 directions, as you can see. The high proportion of self-fabrication makes sense. We work to an accuracy of right down to 5/100ths of a millimeter, and every section is important to the comfort, function and strength of a stressless chair. This is the frame for the non-height adjustable neck support. It looks simple, but it will actually be bent no less than 10 times before it moves on to final cutting and has the plus mechanism welded on. Now watch the robot carefully as it performs its many operational tasks and moves the same blank from position to position until all the operations have been completed. The stressless factory relies heavily on efficient production and assembly of standardized components and has a lot in common with a modern car factory. The factory has the capacity to manufacture up to 2,000 seating units a day. Here the seat frame is being shaped. These robots, of which there are 50, are absolutely central to our production process. The robots were purchased, but the workstations and tools were developed and produced by Ekornes' own staff. This means we can develop products and processes in parallel and possess complex manufacturing skills far in excess of that of any of our competitors. Here we see the seat frame is being welded by a robot-fed automatic welder. The factory consumes large quantities of raw materials. For example, it goes through more than 2 million meters of steel tubing a year. Becoming a supplier to Stressless is difficult. We make extremely high demands when it comes to product and delivery quality. There's no room for a weak link when you're making a quality product. A great deal of the success of Stressless is down to the skilled production staff. They don't just take pride in delivering quality, they're also always trying to find ways of doing things better and more efficiently. This applies to everything from small details to the reorganization of machinery. Their input results in a dynamism that few manufacturing companies can boast. The backrest and seat cushions are important components of Stressless comfort. The cushions are made of molded polyurethane cold foam, which provides the best depth comfort. The steel frames, with their flexo springs, are integrated into the cold foam. The molds are designed so that most of the foam is against the body when one is seated. The molds are filled with foam raw materials to which the flame-retardant melamine has been added. Molding is a demanding process. A computer-controlled process and controlled climate are absolutely vital in achieving top quality. Finished molded seats and backrests are passed through a machine that crushes the hollow cells in the foam to optimize elasticity. After the molding process, the seats and backrests are allowed to stabilize for 24 hours. This is very important in achieving the right quality of foam. The computer-controlled system ensures that every section is sent to its correct storage area. The control system automatically retrieves seats and backrests from storage depending on the number of orders and the product mix that's going to be produced. This orange robot is putting glue onto the molded cold foam. This specially developed hot melt adhesive fixes the shaped block molded cold foam, which will ensure the correct degree of softness. Different types of cold foam have different properties. As one of Norway's largest producers of cold foam, we possess a great deal of expertise in this field. We are now in the department that produces the block molded cold foam. This material is used in most types of seating and mattresses. Each block is 2 meters wide, 1 meter high and 13 meters long and contains 26 cubic meters of cold foam. The blocks are produced in several colors so we can differentiate between the various densities during production. Only flame retardant foam is used in Stressless products. After molding, the blocks are sent for hardening before being cut. This cutting machine is controlled by a computer that holds the cutting templates of all our products. This results in a high degree of material utilization. Offcuts are ground up and remolded as rebound foam. We are now in the leather test laboratory, where all consignments are tested against the strictest international standards. Those that don't measure up are returned to the tannery. Leather is an expensive material and must be cut in such a way that you end up with as few offcuts as possible. However, leather is also a natural material with wrinkles, scars and natural color variations. By letting experienced people with a critical eye assess the hides before they are fed into the advanced cutting machines, we can grade the blemishes according to distinctness and locate them in the most visible, less visible, or invisible places on the furniture. Thus we can ensure both the quality of the chair and the most efficient use of the material. The finished pieces are sorted for transport to the stitching department. By the time the cut leather and fabric arrives in the stitching department, we usually know which customers are going to receive the finished chairs or sofas. The 200 machinists are divided into work teams, each responsible for the stitching for their own group of models. The machinist's ID label is stitched into every cushion. Upholstering is a manual operation. Here we can see an armrest. Backrests and seat cushions are upholstered using vacuum. The work takes time, not least because the operator also has to hook the seams to the flexo springs, an operation that helps to give the chair the right design, tailoring and shape. However, this time is well spent. The operators, who know their products inside out, also use both their eyes and fingers to check quality. The operators have both the authority and a responsibility to reject products that are not good enough for their customers. Finally, the polythene used to create the vacuum is removed. All used polythene is recycled. The packing is done manually so that the final vital inspection can be performed at the same time. Once the product has been approved, it is marked as such by being labelled with a production code. This code enables rapid tracing in the event of any complaints. The seat cushion is fitted to the base prior to packing. The rest of the chair is assembled at its destination. This keeps transport costs down. It is both expensive and environmentally unfriendly to transport a lot of air over great distances. Once the parts are properly packed, the product information, assembly instructions and other labelling is added. And there we have it. The process is complete and yet another stressless is on its way out into the world.